The 9th of May marked the first exchange of the federal government since the independence. At the same time, the Sultanate system remains untouched and protected since then. Despite the Sultan as the symbol of his people, is he still a major influence to the country? Is the Sultanate system still relevant today?
Kelantan is a state of Malaysia. The capital and royal seat is Kota Baru. The honorific of the state is Darul Naim. Kelantan is positioned in the northeast of peninsular Malaysia. It is bordered by Narathiwat province of Thailand to the north, Terengganu to the southeast, Perak to the west, and Pahang to the south. To the northeast of Kelantan is the South China Sea. There are several suggestions about the origin of the name Kelantan. One theory suggests that the name comes from the word gelam hutan, the Malay word for the kajuput or swam tea tree. Other claimed that the name came from the Malay word kilatan, which means shiny, or kolam tanah, which means clay pool. Kelantan was called Kalantan by the Siamese when it was under their influence. Kelantan is one of the states in Malaysia that has its own sultan. Sultan Muhammad V is currently the 29th Sultan of Kelantan. He was born as Tengku Muhammad Faris Petra, Ibni Tengku Ismail Petra, on 6th October 1969. He is the head of Islam in the state and the source of all titles, honors, and dignities of its people. Sultan Muhammad V received his early education at SK Sultan Ismail I, Kota Baru, Kelantan, and thereafter at Alice Smith School, Kuala Lumpur. He left for the United Kingdom to study at Oakham School, Rutland, England. Sultan Muhammad V attended St. Cross College, Oxford, and the Oxford Centre for Islamic Studies for Diplomatic Studies, graduating in 1991. He continued further with diplomatic studies and business administration at Huron University College, London. The Sultan even delved deeper into diplomatic relations at Deutsche Stiftung International Entwicklung, Berlin, and took up European Business Administration at European Business School, London. He was proclaimed ruler of Kelantan in September 2010, succeeding his father, Sultan Ismail Petra, who is considered incapacitated by illness. He then married Tengku Zubaida Tengku Noruddin, or Kang Sadal, a member of the Patani royal family, in November 2004, but eventually ended in divorce. They did not have any children. Tengku Faris was appointed regent on 25th May in the Sultan's absence. On 13th September 2010, Tengku Muhammad Faris Petra was proclaimed the 29th Sultan of Kelantan in accordance with Article 29A of the State Constitution, which states that a Sultan can no longer be king if he is not viable to rule for a period of more than a year. He took the regnal name Muhammad V. Muhammad V attended the 222nd meeting of the Conference of Rulers for the first time as a full member in October 2010. This marked the recognition of his accession as Sultan by other rulers. Sultan Muhammad V is one of the youngest monarchs to be sworn in. At the age of 47, he is half the age of his predecessor, Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah, who at 89 years old, the oldest monarch of Malaysia. The 15th Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Sultan Muhammad V, is the first in history to rule without a queen by his side. He, however, does keep several animals, mainly horses, birds, cats, and chicken, as pets, showcasing his gentle nature. Sultan Muhammad V enjoys extreme sports. The Sultan was said to be very adventurous and often went horse riding, off-road driving, and playing endurance sports. Apart from that, he enjoys golf, go-kart, shooting, archery, badminton, bowling, and football.
The king is always known for its protocol and strict regulations, either for a visit or to get closer with the society. But Sultan Muhammad V is known for his differences in ruling the country. Sultan Muhammad V's attitudes and contribution towards the society shows him as a king who breaks the stereotypes.
Tuan Yang di-Pertua Dewan Rakyat, Tuan Yang di-Pertua Dewan Negara dan ahli-ahli yang berhormat sekalian, sila duduk dan jangan lari.
The remark drew laughter from both side benches. At the same time, became a hot topic among the society. Sultan Muhammad V is good at cracking spontaneous jokes, which makes him an easygoing and approachable king.
Dan pemakanan seimbang bagi meningkatkan lagi tahap kesihatan diri. Sekejap, minum air sekejap. Yang berhormat kepelbagaian budaya.
Besides being humorous, he is also known for his down-to-earth attitude. He never cared about the protocols, nor the dressing code while attending events, ceremony, or occasions. He often wears a simple jubah or baju Melayu with white kopiah. His intention is to strengthen the bonds between the people and Sultan. Despite his popularity as the Sultan of Kelantan, he is a ruler by heart. He never failed to demonstrate sincere concern for the welfare of the villagers and extends his assistance to those in need without making a fuss about it for the media. During Kelantan's massive flood in 2014, he drove his four-wheel drive with only a bodyguard to Kuala Krai and helped out as much as he could silently. During the massive 2014 flood that affected more than 100,000 people in Kelantan, Sultan Muhammad V quietly walked into the center and helped himself to a hot drink in a styrofoam cup. No one among the hundreds there seemed to realize that it was the Sultan himself. Other than that, Sultan Muhammad V shows importance towards his people's health and well-being. To promote a healthy lifestyle and unity among his people, he held a walkathon in Kota Baru, which encouraged a large number of participants to join the program.
Lebih 21,000 rakyat Kelantan menyertai Sultan Muhammad V berjalan sejauh 7 km dalam acara walkathon diraja Let's Go With Me. Perasmian walkathon disempurnakan Sultan Muhammad V sebelum acara pelepasan peserta dilakukan oleh Menteri Besar Kelantan, Datuk Ahmad Yaakob.
Ini adalah merupakan edisi yang kelima Jadi objektifnya masih lagi sama, iaitu mendekatkan tuanku dan juga rakyat, dan kedua adalah mempromosikan cara hidup sihat, dan yang ketiga adalah sempena tahun melawat Kelantan 2016. Jadi kita
In conclusion, the king is slowly breaking the stereotypes, not through words but by his actions. Sultan Muhammad V, the millennial king, had won millions of hearts just by his open-minded and down-to-earth attitude. The media has always portrayed a good image of the Sultan. However, what are the perceptions of the local people about the Sultan?
Seorang yang baik hati, walaupun berdarah raja, masih dapat bergaul dengan rakyat biasa, rakyat jelata.
Kalau di segi individu tu dia seorang yang unik lah, sebab dia ni seorang yang tidak berkira, walaupun dia pemimpin ataupun dia seorang raja, tapi dia tidak kisah untuk turun ke bawah kerana untuk membantu untuk bersama dengan rakyat dia.
Berasa kan habis suka hok sultan hok duduk di istana hok sultan hok manggil gaul-gaul dengan rakyat gitu. Gaul dengan rakyat lah. Pendapat abang kan persepsi abang terhadap Sultan Kelantan ni dengan hok mula. Mau baik lagi.
Kalau ada majlis kapal-kapal disanggup mari duduk sama tinggi dengan rakyat. Dan pelaku kebakaran di Kuala Lumpur. Masa tu dalam perjalanannya daripada KL ke Kota Baru, dia berhenti singgah kapal dia pun kejut.
Tak rasa perbezaan Kelantan ni dengan Sultan dulu dengan Sultan Long ni. Adik.
Dia boleh beramah mesra dengan rakyat lah.
Sebab lagu tu lah.
Muhammad kelima ni seorang sultan yang sangat menjiwa rakyat. Dia ni banyak aktiviti yang dia buat tu yang melibatkan pihak istana, terutamanya dirinya sendiri dengan rakyat. Sudah menjadi satu kebiasaan bagi dia untuk melawat berbagai kampung, terutamanya yang sakit. Dia seorang yang lupa fun, dan yang paling pentingnya dia boleh menerima pendapat orang ramai. Walaupun apa saja orang royak, tapi dia lebih suka mendekati atau mendampingi sesuatu masalah tu, dia turun ke bawah. Walaupun ada macam-macam pandangan dan pendapat yang salah daripada dia, tapi dia masih lagi menyiasat secara personal.
Masa kejadian banjir besar pada 2014 hari tu, dia sendiri yang banyak membantu rakyat membersihkan kawasan. Dia sendiri yang turun dalam parit untuk mencuci kawasan yang teruk dilanda banjir. Kemudian dia juga aktiviti Hari Raya Aidiladha, dia sendiri yang turun padang melakukan aktiviti penyembelihan. Dia sendiri yang menyembelih lembu korban. Sultan ni sangat menjiwa rakyat. Dia membahasakan diri dia pun Ambo saja. Panggilan biasa orang Kelantan, Ambo je. Menggunakan beta ataupun panggilan rasmi lah sebagai seorang sultan. Sultan Kelantan ni dia tak ada protokol. Contohnya kalau dia nak pergi semaya ke kapal, dia pakai gigi tu je. Dengan pakai jubah biasa macam orang biasa, dia boleh pergi ke masjid lalu tu je. Kalau macam sultan lain, dia akan ikut protokol dia lah, pakaian rasmi dia dulu. Orang tahu ya dia tu raja. Tapi kalau sultan Kelantan ni kadang-kadang orang tak puasai pun dia tu sultan Kelantan. Sebabnya dia di masjid pun dia duduk sebari dengan orang biasa juga. Dia ni jadi perhati pada rakyat lah. Kalau rakyat ada masalah, dia sanggup turun pandai, dia juga tengok apa rakyat dia perlukan.
It is clear that no matter what background the Kelantanese people come from, their perception towards the Sultan will forever be engraved in their hearts and minds.
While the world is changing at a very fast pace over the years, one thing that has remained constant in this beautiful country throughout the centuries is the Sultanate system. It is a very significant component in both political and general life in this country. the Sultanate system still holds its important role, despite the fact that we are now living in the modern era. In much recent times, it is interesting to note that there has been much contention between the Sultanate system and political parties that are involved in the executive administration of a country. The Sultanate system symbolizes the country. In a way, chosen leaders cannot and do not. The decision for the highest rank in a Sultanate system cannot be swayed by money, fame, or political party. The Sultanate system is a symbol of power and unity, and also a piece and part of Malaysia's identity. The Sultanate system is the extension of custom, tradition, and culture that has been strongly intact in the tradition of negara bangsa. The sultans are protectors of Islam, the Malays, and their rights, along with glorifying the national language, and more importantly, conserving the rights of other races. The presence of the Sultanate system prevents the emergence of extreme forms of government in the country by being a balance and check entity for the citizen. The Sultanate system acts as a peacemaker when it's needed to cool down any dispute and find solution when unexpected situation occurs. In addition, the sultans hold the power to execute any actions or decisions made in the parliament. The Sultanate system has the right and prestige in certain circumstances to make crucial decisions. We also ask few students whether the Sultanate system is still relevant in this modern era. And these are their opinions.
Pada masa ini saya rasa relevan. Sekarang ini kita ada pengasingan kuasa, kita ada legislatif, eksekutif dan juga judisiari. So saya rasa pengamalan yang kita katakan kesultanan itu masih relevan sebab sultan itu melambangkan kedaulatan ataupun ketuanan Melayu. Jadi jangan sampaikan pemikiran kata kesultanan dulu dia ada kebaikan, ada keburukan, tapi kita ambil yang baik itu untuk diamalkan sekarang.
Institusi beraja masih diperlukan oleh orang Melayu dalam menjaga hak istimewa mereka seperti yang diperuntukkan oleh Perlembagaan Malaysia. Pada masa yang sama, Raja juga bertindak sebagai pihak pendamai dan memastikan sistem check and balance dapat dilaksanakan.
Pendapat saya, ya, sistem beraja ini adalah simbol kepada perpaduan dan penyatuan sesama rakyat.
While the system or the degree of power wield may change over time, it should not be said that the Sultanate has no relevance, because the Sultanate is the piece and part of Malaysia's identity. The Sultanate system is an epitome of tradition and continuity in ever-changing times. It is part of history, and the halcyon days with the Sultanate system was the highlight during the Malacca era. The sultans are depicted as an emblem of religion and tradition, and the slogan Daulat Tuanku will forever remain in the minds and hearts of Malaysians. In the recent years, the stigma of an unapproachable monarch also slowly dissipated, as the royals started to break the stigma of rigidity and having more friendly interaction with the rakyat. Sultan Muhammad V is the sultan that started to change public perceptions towards the royals and Sultanate system itself. The Sultanate system will remain to be a valuable and propitious political institution whenever and wherever it stands.
Daulat Tuanku. Daulat Tuanku. Daulat Tuanku.